In this world, there's something called the $1 trillion club. And as you can guess, the entry fee is $1 trillion. So who has this kind of money? I mean, even the richest man in the world doesn't, meaning he's not part of the club. Sorry, Elon. Well, the answer is companies. Companies whose valuation has hit and surpassed $1 trillion. And the interesting thing is that this club currently consists of only 6 members, which include Apple, Microsoft, Saudi Aramco, Amazon, Google, and most recently Nvidia. Now, I can understand why the first 5 companies are a part of this club because, think about it, their products are so popular that everybody knows about them. But what about Nvidia? Except for tech lovers, gamers, and those who follow industry trends, I bet that only a few people know that a company called Nvidia even exists. So, how come this not-so-popular company beat even Facebook to join the $1 trillion club? In this video, we'll show you how Nvidia slipped quietly into the ranks to become a $1 trillion company. The rise of Nvidia. In 1993, Nvidia burst into the tech scene from a humble Fremont condo spearheaded by the visionary trio CEO Jensen Huang and his brilliant colleagues Chris Malachowski and Curtis Priem. Their mission? To revolutionize personal computing with cutting-edge 3D graphics chips. Fueled by their belief in a vast untapped market, they set out to turbocharge computing, leaving competitors green with envy. Thus, Nvidia was born, its name inspired by the Latin word for envy. Jensen Huang, now the CEO, didn't rely on traditional business plans. Instead, he honed his entrepreneurial skills through voracious reading and countless legal consultations. 6 months of relentless discussions and preparation culminated in Nvidia's incorporation, with a modest investment of $200 each. This initial stake granted them 20% ownership, laying the foundation for Nvidia's meteoric rise. Nvidia burst onto the scene. Windows 3.1 ruled the PC world. The iconic Sony PlayStation hadn't even made its debut yet, and Siemens hadn't unveiled the groundbreaking S10 displays that would usher in the era of colored displays. Picture this. The graphic landscape was nothing like what we see today, but amidst this backdrop, Jensen Huang and his co-founders saw a golden opportunity in the burgeoning realm of 3D graphics for gaming. These guys recognized that creating 3D graphics in video games placed intensive mathematical pressure on the central processing unit of PCs, and so they went ahead to create a chip that could handle these calculations in parallel, blazing past the CPU's serial limitations. Thus, the NV1, Nvidia's inaugural GeForce graphics card, was born. A marvel that seemingly integrated 2D and 3D graphics acceleration. While the NV1 faced its share of challenges, Nvidia persisted, forging ahead to redefine the very fabric of graphics technology. Then came 1997, when Nvidia found itself teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. Prior to that year, the company received an order from Sega, a key player in the gaming realm much like Nintendo, the powerhouse behind the iconic Sonic series, to create graphics cards for their cutting-edge 128-bit console. Nvidia agreed and went to work, and everything seemed to be on track until Microsoft's big announcement in 1997. With an earth-shattering announcement, Microsoft unveiled a texture mapping approach that would make Nvidia's product incompatible with Windows 95. This was a massive blow to Nvidia because with Microsoft's announcement, it seems like they only had 2 options, which were to stop building the card for Sega or build an inferior product that wouldn't make much sales. The first option would make them go broke instantly, while the second would make them go broke much later. This was a dilemma for the CEO, and the question that continued to ring for days was, what would they choose? However, it seemed like there was a third option. Jensen Huang picked up his phone, put a call through to the CEO of Sega, and told him that his company wouldn't be able to build the graphics card because of Microsoft's plans. But Jensen didn't stop there. In a humbling tone, he requested that the CEO of Sega pay him in full because without the money, Nvidia would be gone. Surprisingly, Sega paid him, and according to Jensen, he still doesn't know why the Sega CEO did that. But the money was able to sustain the company for the next 6 months, during which Nvidia built their next graphics card, the Riva 128, which put them back on the map. But it wasn't until 2 years later, in 1999, that Nvidia unleashed a game-changing marvel into the world, the GeForce 256, a graphics processing unit, or GPU. Unlike other tech companies, this technological marvel didn't just arrive, it stormed onto the scene with innovations like hardware transformation and lighting, setting a new standard for graphics processing. With the launch of the GeForce 256, Nvidia didn't just enter the market, it seized the throne, marking the beginning of its reign as the undisputed leader in the industry. The GeForce GPUs didn't just power games, they revolutionized industries like computer-aided design or CAD and scientific computing. Riding high on this wave of success, Nvidia didn't stop there. In 2000, the acquisition of 3DFX bolstered its position even further, solidifying its dominance. But Nvidia wasn't content with just ruling the gaming and professional graphics realms. Oh no, they had bigger dreams. In 2001, they boldly stepped into the integrated graphics market with Enforce, expanding their reach and leaving competitors scrambling to keep up. And their dedication and excellence didn't go unnoticed. In 2002, Nvidia's meteoric rise was recognized when it was crowned the fastest growing American company, a testament to its relentless pursuit of innovation and quality. Fast forward to 2007, and Nvidia had experienced so much growth that it decided to dive into the mobile scene with their Tegra system-on-a-chip SoC platform, aiming straight for smartphones and tablets. But that wasn't enough for them. Oh no, they also leaped into the high-performance computing or HPC world with their CUDA parallel computing architecture, basically turning GPUs into superpowered multitaskers. Then in 2008, they dropped the mic with the Tegra mobile processor. But guess what? They were just getting started. Before AI was the talk of the town, Nvidia was already cooking up something special. They tapped into the magic of deep learning and AI. And in 2015, they unleashed the mighty Tegra X1 and Nvidia Drive. That move? It was their golden ticket into the world of autonomous vehicles and deep learning, and also marked the beginning of their path into the trillion-dollar club, although it didn't happen until 8 years later. In a thrilling quest for innovation, Nvidia achieved groundbreaking milestones like the revolutionary Turing architecture in 2018, revolutionizing computer graphics with real-time ray tracing. Then, in 2019, they unveiled the dynamic Nvidia Studio, celebrating the vibrant creative community. Building on this momentum, in 2020, Nvidia made waves with the acquisition of Mellanox, propelling their influence in high-performing computing and data centers, and setting the stage for the remarkable Nvidia Ampere GPU architecture. Before the 2010s, Nvidia was primarily known for powering video game consoles like the Microsoft Xbox and Sony PlayStation. However, the dynamic landscape of Silicon Valley in the 2010s pushed Nvidia to expand its horizons. One exciting development was their collaboration with Google in 2014, bringing Nvidia chips to the forefront of Google Chromebooks. Not stopping there, automotive giants like Tesla also hopped on board, integrating Nvidia chips into their vehicles for advanced driver assistance systems. Then came the unexpected twist of the COVID-19 pandemic, shaking up work routines and igniting a surge in demand for data centers. Coupled with newfound enthusiasm for gaming during lockdowns, Nvidia saw its revenue soar. Despite these gains, Nvidia's $22 billion revenue in 2022 paled in comparison to its competitors' hefty $66 billion. But everything changed in 2023 with the onset of the artificial intelligence revolution, where AI programmers unlocked the true potential of Nvidia's GPUs, realizing their unparalleled efficiency in powering cutting-edge AI software like ChatGPT. Nvidia's foresight in investing early in AI is paying off big time, with every tech titan now vying for a piece of these coveted chips. From Amazon to Google, Meta to Microsoft, and even Oracle, everyone's jumping on the Nvidia bandwagon. Microsoft even spilled the beans, boasting a staggering 10,000 Nvidia chips powering OpenAI's supercomputer. With Nvidia churning out a whopping 80% of all GPUs, they are the undisputed heart of the AI revolution. Little wonder their value skyrocketed past the $1 trillion mark in 2023, firmly cementing their place in the AI Hall of Fame. Recently, Nvidia's latest earnings report sent shockwaves through the market, surpassing all expectations and propelling the company's value beyond $2 trillion. This meteoric ascent cements Nvidia as a formidable force in the tech industry, surpassing even giants like Meta, Tesla, and Samsung to secure a spot among the top 6 most valuable companies globally. The question now is, will Nvidia continue its stellar rise, potentially challenging titans like Amazon and Alphabet, or is this just a fleeting triumph? What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. Until next time! Everybody knows Amazon is the biggest online retailing company in the world. The company's become a household name, selling everything from books to groceries and kitchen equipment to clothing accessories. As of 2021, Amazon had hit the $1 trillion market cap, with an annual revenue of $61.9 billion and has over 97,000 employees. In all, you can say that Amazon has done quite well for itself in its 30 years of existence. However, as much as we would love to applaud Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon and its former CEO, for building this gigantic success through hard work, resilience, and innovation, serious allegations have been levied against Amazon in recent times. Jeff Bezos says that Amazon is Earth's best employer and Earth's safest place to work. But is that true? In this video, we'll show you how Amazon started and some disturbing truths about this company that helped its growth. In 1994, Jeff Bezos, who had been working on Wall Street, decided to quit his job. The reason? Jeff had discovered that an internet revolution was taking place, and he felt there was an opportunity right there. So he made a list of the top 20 products that he could potentially sell on the internet. After much deliberation, Jeff settled on books because of their low cost and universal demand. He then moved to Washington and founded Amazon, an online bookstore that operated from a garage at his residence in Bellevue. Interestingly, the company wasn't always Amazon. Jeff initially dubbed the business Cadabra, as in abracadabra, which is super weird. But after someone mistakenly called it cadaver, Jeff decided to change the name to Amazon, after the enormous river in South America. Jeff and a few employees started developing the software for their site, and in July 1995, Amazon.com went live to the general public. Its first ever order, placed in April 1995, a few months before the website was launched, was for a science book titled Fluid Concepts and Creative Analogies. It was a phenomenal time for the company. When Amazon went live, the company billed itself as Earth's biggest bookstore, even though sales were solely based on word of mouth. But maybe it was a prophecy, because within 30 days of launch, Amazon had started shipping across the US as well as 45 other countries. In the same year, Jeff raised an $8 million round of funding from Kleiner Perkins, and by the end of 1996, Amazon had racked up $15.7 million in revenues. In 1997, Amazon went public with $18 per share, raising $54 million. That same year, Jeff personally delivered Amazon's 1 millionth order to a customer in Japan who had ordered a Windows NT manual and a Princess Diana biography. Phenomenal growth. Phenomenal growth. The company was booming, but it wasn't enough for Jeff. So in 1998, Amazon expanded beyond books and started selling music CDs, and the following year it added more product categories, including toys, electronics, and tools. By December 1999, Amazon had shipped 20 million products to 150 countries around the world. And that same month, Jeff was dubbed Person of the Year by Times Magazine. The following year, Amazon introduced a service that allows sellers and merchants outside the company to sell their products alongside Amazon's products. It was a brilliant idea that boosted the popularity and, of course, the profits of Amazon. While all this was going on, Amazon continued to expand its range of products, raking in more profits, which it didn't post until 2003. In 2007, Amazon debuted its Kindle e-reader, and 4 years later, it announced that it was selling more books than print books. Between 2006 and 2013, Amazon rolled out a variety of services, including cloud computing and video-on-demand services, a studio that develops movies and TV series known as Amazon Prime, an online marketplace for fine arts, and its tablet computer called Kindle Fire. In addition to its wide range of services, Amazon has also acquired a number of companies, including Zappos and Whole Foods. In 2015, Amazon beat Walmart to become the most valuable retailer in the US, and by
Amazon is now past Walmart as the biggest retailer in the United States.
And by 2018, the company hit the trillion-dollar market cap, making it the second US company after Apple Incorporated to achieve this milestone. One thing can be observed about Amazon is that the country grew so fast, but that shouldn't surprise you because that was the motto of its founder, Jeff Bezos, who later stepped down as CEO of Amazon in 2021. But the question is, at what cost? The brave new paradigm. There is an old saying that goes like this: the higher the monkey climbs, the more you see of its ugly side, and Amazon has certainly climbed incredibly fast, becoming the largest online retailer in the world. But only a few people have looked closely at this gigantic retailer, and there's no doubt that Jeff Bezos' idea of using electronic streamlining and systems management to sell everything from books to bicycles, barbecues to Barbies at a cheap, very cheap price, and at the same time undercutting competitors like Walmart is brilliant. But what is the source of this efficiency and cheap price admired and accepted by all? Did Amazon achieve this by being a virtual store, saving the costs of building, staffing, and maintaining brick-and-mortar outlets? Or is Amazon doing it the old-fashioned way, which means squeezing the life out of its workers and suppliers, crushing its competitors with monopolistic muscle, and manipulating national and state laws? It would have been nice to say it's the former, but the truth is it's the latter, and the brain behind it is none other than Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. Inside the Beast. Jeff was once called Person of the Year, but now that award has changed to the World's Worst Boss, a title given to him by the International Trade Union Confederation. He's been described by higher-ups in Amazon as a cold, controlling, and often vengeful boss with little empathy for the people who work for him. Even as far back as the 1980s, when Jeff worked on Wall Street, he was perceived as lacking the human touch, and it's this personality that has contributed to the growth of Amazon. To fully understand, we must look beyond Amazon's comfortable headquarters and observe what goes on in its warehouses, or fulfillment centers as they're called, where more than 97,000 employees work. There's only one word for working in these warehouses: hellish. Take the job of a picker, for example. In each warehouse, there are hundreds of them scrambling through a maze of shelves to pick products. The work is physically demanding because pickers are expected to speed walk an average of 12 miles every day to pick products and place them on the right track of the 7 miles of conveyor belts running through the facility. They do this with the help of a handheld computer. But the problem is the computer doesn't just tell them where to go, but also gives an allotted time it would take to get the product to its rightful place. So if the computer feels it would take you 5 minutes to get the product to its rightful position, you better speed walk as fast as you can, or even jog so you can get there within that time. Because if you don't, that's a big problem. You see, every picker has a target for each day, and Amazon has a point system that rates everybody's performance. If you score a few demerits, you get cancelled, and if you score more, you lose your job. Everything is also timed, monitored, and scored from beginning to end. And get this, lunch is just 29 minutes and 59 seconds, a fact workers are constantly reminded of again and again by the ever-present time monitors. And if they're not back to working 1 second after the allotted time for lunch breaks, they earn penalty points. Imagine working in this kind of environment for $10 to $12 an hour, an amount most of the workers don't even make because Amazon's warehouse employees are contingent hires, meaning they're temporary, seasonal, part-time laborers subject to the employer's whim. When sales are down, workers are let go. And when sales perk up, the managers demand you do a 12-hour shift with no notice. You must do it or be fired. And the big one is technically these workers don't work directly for Amazon. They're hired by temp agencies with Orwellian names like Amalgamated Giant Shipping that do Amazon's dirty work. What this means is that it gives Amazon plausible deniability about workers' treatment. It also means workers have no labor rights because technically they are independent contractors. So no healthcare, no vacation time, no scheduled raises, no promotion track, and of course no union. The question is, why are these workers putting up with this kind of treatment and work environment? It's simple. They need to take care of rent, food, and clothing. Jeff Bezos understands that millions of people are stuck in jobless depression with no way out, and so they have no choice but to take any job, even one as hellish as Amazon's. The truth is, Amazon has capitalized on this mass desperation, thriving on it to become the online giant it is today. The truth is, this truth is a big part of the magic behind its super cheap prices and super efficient delivery system. So, if you somehow remove this factor, Amazon would probably not be the giant it is today. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. No one knows when World War III will happen, or if it's ever going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't. But one thing is sure, artificial intelligence and robotics will be the king that will determine who will emerge as the winner, and so countries of the world are investing billions of dollars in robotics and AI warfare. From the United States to Japan, China, and even Russia, the greatest rival to the United States. So what kind of robots do you think Russia is building? In this video, we'll show you some of the warfare robots that Russian engineers have built and unleashed on the world. This is Fedor, a humanoid robot that is frankly one of Russia's most astounding creations. Work on the robot began in 2014 and was presented to the public 2 years later in 2016. And according to the presentation, Fedor has two main tasks: rescue people in extreme conditions such as collapsed buildings and help during space explorations. It was also revealed that Fedor can operate autonomously or can be controlled by an operator using a specialized control suit. Fantastic, right? Well, despite how amazing Fedor was recently sanctioned because it was discovered that in addition to rescuing people and exploring space, Fedor has a hidden talent. It could shoot with both hands. Yeah, pretty shocking, but also sneaky of those engineers, because there's no way they didn't know. Anyway, as soon as it was discovered, foreign companies suspended the supply of crucial components like gears, sensors, engines, cameras, and computers. However, that hasn't stopped Fedor's creators. Instead of waiting for supply from those companies, they've decided to source for the components from local sources, ensuring that Fedor's advancement is not hindered. There's no doubt that the next time Fedor is unveiled to the world, we'll discover multiple hidden talents. Robot dog. The United States military is not the only one that has developed a robot dog. Russia also has one, and it's armed with a grenade launcher. The robot dog was developed by the Russian company Intellect Machine and unveiled at the 2022 Russia's annual Army International Arms Exposition, where it was shown walking, lying, and spinning in a demonstration. According to the developers, the robot dog can accurately shoot and carry weapons, and can also be used in emergencies such as reconnaissance, navigating through debris, and delivering medical supplies. However, at the time it was revealed, the shape and location of its optical sensors kind of matched that of a Chinese robot dog called the Unryushu technology dog. This resemblance sparked accusations that the Russian robot dog is simply a copycat of its Chinese counterpart. Until today, no one except the developers, of course, can tell whether or not the Russian robot dog is a copycat. And the fact that the robotic dog was disguised in a black cloth coverall with only the top of its optical sensors peeking through doesn't exactly help its case. Avatar robot. Within the next decade, Russia plans to create an avatar robot that will replace soldiers on the battlefield. According to the developers, the robot can either be designed in an anthropomorphic form, which means it would resemble a human, or a non-anthropomorphic form, which significantly differs from a human. It's envisioned that the robot would possess functional capabilities comparable to humans, meaning that it can independently interact with human infrastructure effectively. This infrastructure includes traversing through terrains, providing first aid and driving a car. Development of the robot has already begun, and in 2015 the human-like avatar robot was demonstrated to President Vladimir Putin, where it rode a quad bike around a vehicle test track and also made 5 good shots on a target, but an operator controlled it. In 2016 it was revealed that the robot was learning how to drive a car. Currently there's not much information about this avatar robot, but we look forward to seeing it whenever it's unveiled. Uran 9. Uran 9 is a Russian ground-based drone that holds a very prominent position among the world's most powerful ground-based drones. At a size of about 4.5 meters long and 2 meters wide, weighing in at 10 tons, the Uran 9 packs a punch with its arsenal. Sporting a 30mm automatic cannon paired with a 7.62mm machine gun, it's certainly ready for combat. But that's not all. It also boasts launchers housing 49 M120 Ataka anti-tank missiles, with the flexibility to swap them out for eager anti-aircraft missiles, enhancing its air defense capabilities. Currently, there's no unmanned combat vehicle in the West that matches the firepower of the Uran 9, which already participated in live combat operations in Syria. Although specific details about its application in the Syria conflict were not revealed, the developers confirmed that Uran 9 proved its worth in a combat environment, and its success has bridged the gap between Russia and other countries actively developing combat drones. Soratnik. Soratnik, also called Comrade in arms, is an unmanned ground vehicle created by the Kalashnikov Group for reconnaissance, fire support, patrols, and protection of areas and important facilities, as well as mine clearance and obstacle clearing. Weighing less than 7 tons with a speed of 40 km per hour, this robot vehicle can be operated in 3 control modes, which are manual, automatic, and direct control. In terms of weapons, 4 types of weapons can be installed on Soratnik, including a 12.7mm and 7.62mm machine gun, a 30mm AG-17A grenade launcher, and a new 40mm automatic grenade launcher. According to reports, Soratnik has been tested in near-combat conditions in Syria. More recently, Russia has tested it as a platform for human-machine collaboration on the battlefield. Nereta. Designed by the Dektyarov plant together with the Foundation for Advanced Studies of the Russian Federation, Nereta is an armed unmanned ground vehicle that was created as a universal transport system that can be used to transport troops and conduct combat operations and reconnaissance for artillery systems. Depending on the equipment deployed, the robot can patrol the terrain, conduct reconnaissance, detect the enemy's artillery locations, and evacuate the wounded. This robot has 3 distinct payloads: weapon, transport, and artillery reconnaissance. The weapon station comes in a variety of configurations and can be fitted with a 12.7mm cord machine gun or a 7.62mm Kalashnikov machine gun, as well as an AG-30mm automatic grenade launcher. Bertha was first demonstrated in 2016, followed by testing of the product by the Russian Army in 2017. It's most likely that Nereta will be a part of Russian airborne shortly because of its compact size. Marker. After the Uran 9, the Marker robot is one of the most popular and impressive unmanned ground robot vehicles, developed by Androidnaya Technica, a robotics company based in Russia. It was created to distinguish things using artificial intelligence technologies and can be used to perform autonomous patrols and specialized security routes for ground-based space infrastructure facilities, as well as identify and intercept security perimeter violators. Markers can detect a variety of invaders, including illegal personnel, unmanned aerial vehicles, and motor vehicles. It defends against incoming hostile UAVs with electronic pulses and suicide drones. It can also interrupt and neutralize drone signals by radio-electrical jamming. During trials, it was discovered that Marker, outfitted with both a rifle system and a grenade launcher, demonstrated faster response times to emergent threats, superior target recognition, and more precise targeting than a human operator. The Okhotnik. No doubt Russia has lagged behind its peers when it comes to unmanned combat aerial vehicles. However, one of the most impressive UCAVs it made in recent times is the Okhotnik, also called Hunter, a stealth combat drone that recent news reveals is almost near completion. The drone is being developed by Sukhoi and the Russian aircraft corporation MiG as part of a 6th-generation aircraft project. According to the developers, the drone is designed to perform strike and reconnaissance missions. It features a flying wing shape, a jet engine, and a payload of up to 6 tons, making it one of the largest and heaviest drones in the world. This remarkable stealth drone can not only fly up to 1,000 kilometers per hour, but can also reach altitudes of up to 18,000 meters, maneuvering and evading enemy radars and their defenses. The Okhotnik can also carry a variety of weapons, including bombs, missiles, and electronic warfare devices, depending on the mission. This should definitely be regarded as a threat to NATO. These Russian robots are a testament to the fact that, unlike what most people think, Russia is not so far behind when it comes to military robots. So hopefully World War III never happens, because if it does, it will certainly be more bloody than the previous World War.